Hey guys, this story will be following the same vein as the Russian Forest Ranger and the African Game Ranger. However, this one is about a group of friends and their experience in New Mexico. So I'm asking you once again to pull up a stump with me and we'll get into this story. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe and consider donating to my Patreon or donating through PayPal. Thank you. I was 15 and living in New Mexico, and this place is hot AF, and I'm wondering why we don't live in California. I live in a pretty nice house on the outskirts of town. It's only about a 30-minute walk into the town proper, about 5 minutes in a car. My house has a really big backyard, like bigger than the house, and on the other side of the fence is a straight up forest. And hardly 20 minutes away is Gila National Forest. I hope I said that right. So this is summer, and it's like June or July or somewhere in there, so nobody goes into the forest that much. And my brother John, I call him Johnny, is in the Marines. He's on shore leave and is home for a week or two. So what does he do? Wrangles up a bunch of his military friends, about 8 of them, and invite me and them to go camping in the forest behind our house. He tells me that I can invite a friend or two of mine and bring my hunting rifle in case they feel like they're going on a deer hunt or something. And I think, sure, why not? Johnny's been away for a long time. So I invite my best friend Sarah to go camping with us, and she's like, of course, LOL. Now, a word on John, he loves scaring the piss out of me, so the entire time people are arriving at our house, I'm expecting him to pull something. I keep an eye on my cell phone in my bra because we aren't that far away from the house, and it's not like we aren't going to get any service out here in the woods, especially if there's an emergency. And when we're out there, everything's fine for about 30 minutes. I'm sitting with Sarah and we're giggling. All of John's Marine buddies are good guys, but are really rowdy. They have beer and they offer us some. Sarah goes, "No, I'm good, but I've got nothing against beer, so why not?" I take one beer and that's it. They may be good guys, but they're guys, and I'm not about to get drunk with 8 of them around. For the most part, everything was normal until I felt something watching me from the woods. I looked around for Johnny because I wanted to ask him if he invited anybody else to go camping with us, but he's nowhere to be seen. I'm kind of getting worried, but Johnny has a rifle, so I figured he'll be fine. We take up spots on the edge of the campsite so we can watch the guys. After 20 minutes, there are guys running around shirtless, laughing and hooting and hollering and stuff, wearing camo fatigues and hiking boots, and have a good time. Sarah and I are busy enjoying the eye candy when I feel something grab my shoulder, and I think, oh my god, and I turn around and it's Johnny. He snuck up behind me, absolutely scaring the life out of me. I'm mad at him, but I'm not about to just ditch the whole party and go back inside or anything. Eventually the campsite gets moved in a little deeper into the forest, and we can barely see the fence from where we are. The sun is definitely going down now, and in the dark the house and the fence fades from our view. And we light a campfire because, sure, why not? The dudes are dancing around shirtless and everybody's laughing. And around our house, usually the forest is lit up with noise around sundown. I'm talking like birds, insects, and everything. It gets pretty noisy. But tonight it's just dead silent. Not a single owl, or bird, or insect, or anything. And we don't really care, to be honest, because it's a party. Sarah is flirting hardcore with some of the guys, and that's sort of gross to me because I, A, associate my brother with them, and B, they're all 21 and up. Suddenly, we hear this, I don't know, a wail? A moan? Sounded like 2 people at the same time, high-pitched and low-pitched, talking together. And it was off in the forest. Everybody gets quiet. Thank God for the Marines. They put their shirts back on and put away the beer for a second. One says, maybe it's a bear. And I'm thinking, where have you ever heard a bear that sounds like that? At this point, we stop and listen, and we notice that the forest is silent. Just dead silent. Everyone's getting a little nervous right now, especially Sarah. Let's go back to the house. And I say, come on guys, we really should go back to the house. Johnny's buddy Martin basically tells her and me to woman up and settle down. Sarah gets pissed and clams up. We hear it again, but it's closer this time. Johnny's got his rifle. I go to get mine, but like an idiot, I realize I left it at home. There are 3 people with hunting rifles, including Johnny, and 1 guy with a pistol. And suddenly everything reeks. There's this horrible smell, like rotten meat and vomit. It's so bad that one of Johnny's friends gags. Hardcore Marine has been overseas for 3 months. He gags from the smell coming out of the woods. They form up around us because I guess it's training to protect the civilians, maybe? 8 guys with Johnny, Sarah, and I in the middle. Now, living in New Mexico, we hear a lot of Spanish horror stories and such, so there's a couple of jokes floating around about La Llorona, the one who cries, and which is a pretty popular ghost story around here. And Sarah hates that stuff. She says, "Shut up, guys, right now, seriously." Martin tells her to cool her tits, that it's just a joke. She starts to reply when the campfire goes out. At that point, there is mass panic. The guys are shouting military jargon to each other. 2 guys break from formation to try and get the fire back going again. Sarah starts screaming and says, "Somebody just touched my chest." The fire comes back on, and the guys get back into formation. Sarah is sobbing, covering her boobs with her arms. Johnny has his rifle raised, frantically looking around. The guys start to settle down when Johnny starts screaming at the dude at the back of the group. He's just standing there, back to the rest of us as per the circle formation or whatever, and he's just not moving at all. At first I have no idea what the issue is. Maybe we drank a little too much or something. I try to calm Johnny down, but he's in full man mode and I can't get him to chill. "Johnny, what's the matter with you?" He's screaming, "Tango, tango, tango," but the other guys don't know what the hell he's talking about, and I look around to make sure everybody's still there, and I nearly crap my pants. There are 9 people in the circle. A couple seconds later, the other guys catch on. The 2 standing on either side of whoever this is leap back like it's about to explode. All 3 rifles and the pistol are leveled at this guy's head, and he doesn't even move, as 8 dudes start shouting at him for him to get on the ground and put his hands on his head. We hear something rustle in the bushes off to the right. 8 dudes turn with military precision to look, and Sarah and I scream because the second they look away, number 9 starts to look over his shoulder and then vanishes. We nope out of the circle, nope down the hill towards my house. I nope straight into a fence because I can't see where I'm going. Luckily I'm stockily built and I've got plenty of muscle from hiking and hunting in the woods, and the fence is old and weak. I go right through my own fence, cut myself all up in 3 places, and get a fat splinter in my elbow, but I'm back in my backyard at least. Johnny, Sarah, and the others come hurling down the hill after me, file in through the fence, tango sighted. In the light of the campfire we can see it standing in our campsite looking down at us. The light is sketchy at best by this point, especially since it's standing in front of the fire, but from the fence it looks like its head is jittering back and forth on its neck, like those twitchy guys from Jacob's Ladder. 3 gunshots. When the muzzle flash dies down, it's gone again. Hear the wail/moan again, but it's closer than ever, and we hear this freakish gibbering laughter, like a hyena. "Shoot it," someone yells out. Now they're wasting ammo out of fear, shooting at shadows in the forest. Sarah has practically crapped her pants by this time. She's sobbing and screaming and trying to get me on my feet so we can go back inside. Johnny tells the others to get through the fence already. When we all look back up, it's halfway down the hill, shaking like it's vomiting or something, but there's no sound or anything coming out of its mouth, and we think, get in the effing house. The rest of them come through the fence, sprint across the yard. Johnny is pulling me along because my arm hurts and I can't do anything. Make it back inside, lock the door, crowd around it with guns. Martin helps me with my screwed up arm, and Johnny grabs my hunting rifle from my room, locking all the doors and windows in the house as he goes. We sit around the door all night, literally too scared to leave our spots. My parents come home from town at 12:15 and we all crap our pants. My mom refused to believe us even though I'm all bloody. Johnny's gun has clearly been fired and he shows them the clip. We're all clearly as spooked as hell, and they got mad at us for A, locking all the doors, and B, leaving a fire in the forest, so they just go right to bed. Your mom is right, we gotta put out that fire. Johnny straight up laughs and says who's gonna be stupid enough to go back out there. Sarah volunteers, and I think, are you kidding me? Sarah started, complaining about having left her purse there or something back at the campsite. So eventually Marvin, who I'm beginning to think at this point is kind of a douche, tells the others that he's probably just shadows and stuff, and that we're all overreacting. Sarah goes with Marvin back to the campsite. Marvin takes his pistol. We sit there for like 10 minutes, getting antsier and antsier. All of a sudden there's pounding on the back door and we all kind of scream in fear. Martin starts screaming for us to let him in, calling us every sort of name he can think of. Johnny opens the door. Where's Sarah? He says he doesn't know, and we think, where is Sarah? Apparently when they got to the campsite, when Martin put out the campfire, Sarah picked up her purse and started giggling like a hyena, and then vanished. He got out of there. Johnny started arguing with Martin about leaving a civilian alone in the forest. I'm just ready to pass out or cry from exhaustion and my arm. Johnny and Martin are screaming at each other. Mom comes in from her bedroom and tells us to shut up because people are trying to sleep, and she's wondering just what's going on. I start crying and tell her that Sarah is gone. She says, "What do you mean, gone?" As I say I don't really know, she disappeared. Martin fills my mom in, and she goes to call the police. Johnny tells her to wait in her room and lock it, and her window, and the bathroom door. Martin calls Johnny an idiot and tells him they should all get the civilians rounded up in the same place. Johnny starts to respond when there's a thump on the back door. It's kind of like knocking, but it's all wrong. There's no rhythm or anything. It sounded like a thump, 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 and then softer ones, and then a couple loud thumps at the end. And then this completely inhuman, raspy voice says, "Tango," from the other side of the door, but it's all elongated and sounds like tango. And then it says, "Where's Shura?" Martin shoots through the door, and there's this loud scream and the sound of someone hauling ass across the yard. It keeps trying to say varying versions of "Where's Sarah," but it devolves into a guttural, atrocious snarling, and then quiet. After 3 or 4 minutes of this, I swear to God it felt like an eternity, we hear shuffling outside the door. The smell is back. We hear whimpering and then giggles from just outside the door, and then near the bottom, whimpering like a dog or an animal, and then very softly, it's like the voice came through the bottom of the door and said, "Sarah," and then it said, "I am Sarah," and everybody goes cold. My stomach does a flip. The guards are too freaked out to even shoot for a second. Johnny puts a rifle round through the door, but by the time he shoots, the thing must have moved, because seconds later we hear the hyena laughter up on the hill again. We watch the back door until the police show up. Someone is in the forest screwing with us. They investigate, come back in half an hour, and say that their dogs are going absolutely ape, but they can't find anything, and they ask if we've been doing drugs. And we say that we've had a few beers, but none of us are drunk or even buzzed. The police leave, and we don't hear the thing ever again. Nobody felt safe going home that night, and my bedroom window had a window looking out into the backyard, so everyone slept in the living room. The next day, we got all of our stuff from the campsite, and I went to Sarah's house to tell her parents that Sarah had gone missing in the forest. She lived down the street from us, and their backyard didn't lead into the forest like ours did, but it was still pretty close. Sarah's mom answers the door. I explain what happened, and she says, "What are you talking about? I heard Sarah come in very early this morning when it was still dark." Noped out of there, and about 3 weeks later we ended up moving to California, and left that place behind entirely and never went back. So I don't know about you, but I thought that was a pretty creepy story. What do you think happened, though? Do you think it was real? Do you think it's fake? It's really up to you. And if you do think it was real, have you had any of your own experiences like this? I'm setting up an email address where people can send in their experiences, and I'll post that whenever I actually get around to doing it. So yeah, that's the experience of the New Mexico gang. and I hope you enjoyed the story. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for pulling up a stump with me this time. And I hope you all have a great night or day, wherever you are. Thank you.